The Arizona Cardinals turned the Jacksonville Jaguars over 4 times, have less penalty yards, have 7 minutes more time of possession, and they still lose. Unbelievable. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We're here again. Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals, instant reaction, week 12. Cardinals lose again. So we're here. It's about the same. And this is another way that the Arizona Cardinals found a way to lose. It's unbelievable to me. It is absolutely unbelievable that we're sitting here again talking about the Arizona Cardinals. 4 takeaways. We're on the field for 7 minutes longer than the Jaguars, and they find a way to lose the game. I don't have words for this team anymore. They fall to 3-8. They had a chance down the stretch. There's going to be a lot to discuss this week on Locked On Cardinals, but I'm going to give you 10 or 15 minutes now. Remember when people said I was crazy for saying the Cardinals needed to go offensive line in the draft, if not once, twice? Remember that? And people said I was crazy? 6 more sacks on Jacoby Brissett today. And it's when he has time, this offense moves. He had another 300 yards passing, had a touchdown pass. It's we're having the same conversation. Unfortunately, 2 things happened to the Cardinals early in the game that kind of salted away their fate. One, the defense forgot that they were playing football on the opening drive. Super easy Travis Etienne chunk gain, catch, run, touchdown, score before you even knew what your name was. Not great in a 1-score game. Secondly, was Chad Ryland's missed field goal. Chad Ryland is close. He's got pumpkin energy close, where you may need to be looking for another kicker next season. But as we sit here, I didn't think that there was another way the Cardinals could lose a game that they were supposed to win. This one absolutely takes the cake. I mean, the defense had that great 4th and 1 stand. They gave them the chance to come down. Huge chunk play to Michael Wilson, and they had 28 seconds left when that play was completed, and people were running down the field, and they let 13 or 14 seconds knock off the clock, which is another play or 2 to try and score and not just kick a field goal to tie the game. So there were a lot of different things happening. All of them went against the Cardinals when they needed it. And we're here watching this team lose another game that they were supposed to win. I know that the conversation is going to be, well, it's good that they lost for draft capital. There's nothing good about losing any game the rest of the year. It has lingering effects for a lot of things. And the problem is with the injuries. I mean, Will Johnson, Danger Taylor Demerson were out today. Mac Wilson obviously out. Marv out. There is no room for error with all these injuries, and the Cardinals continue to have good defensive output, last 2 weeks notwithstanding. The offense look pretty okay with Jacoby Brissett, and they still can't win football games. This is probably, so what, they're 3-8. This is probably their 5th win that they should have won. 5th game that they should have won that they lost, which would put them at 8-3. That's crazy talk. That's crazy. Maybe 4th game. 5 isn't fair. And then you're looking at the offense. I see in the comments about the horrible play calling. Like, they were running the Kyler Murray offense for the middle section of that game. It's like there were no shots down the field. I know you take what the defense gives to you. I understand all of that. The verticality of this offense was really not there outside of 3rd and longs. And then, they moved it down. They moved it down the stretch. Greg Dortch had the great catch and run for a touchdown. The Greg Dortch thing, like, for I'm not sure how long all of you have been watching or listening, but I have said this is my third full season, talking about this. They use Greg Dortch in the preseason. He's a darling. And then they use him when they're out of playoff contention. But they don't use him in the middle. And this is just another indicator of that. Like, the dude is a playmaker. Get him the damn ball. And they weren't able to. So Cardinals lose 27-24. Some quick numbers just to put things into perspective. Jacoby Brissett had to throw the ball 49 times again. 300 yards. Michael Wilson, 10 for 118. Trey McBride, 9 for 79. Greg Dortch, 6 for 53 and a touch. I think I'm at a point now where you don't run the ball. Like, it sucks because the offensive line has to pass protect. And who knows how many more dropbacks Jacoby Brissett was going to have to make. Bam Knight was 10 carries for 12 yards today. 10 for 12. And I know he's hobbled and he got knocked up or banged up at the end of the game too. But, like, this offense just, they just take series off. The defense takes series off. And you can't do that if you want to win football games. I am shocked at this point that the Cardinals lost this game. Not shocked like, fool me 100 times, shame on me. But they should have won this football game. They should have won this football game. The poor clock management at the end of the game, at end of regulation, going forward on fourth and 5, the play call, he had his guy. Like, at this point, it's like, who cares? If this was a playoff game or if this was a game where they needed to win the division, yeah, you get the extra 4 yards. Sometimes when you throw the ball down the field in this situation, if Xavier Weaver didn't go up and get it, they could have probably called pass interference on that play. But again, this is the Cardinals. They don't get those calls. And this isn't like, woe is me. The Cardinals just don't get those calls. They just don't. The 50-50 calls, they don't. But for me, like, going into this next iteration of what we're going to experience with this team this year, you got to look for what's sustainable and what's positive. Okay? I'm not going to blow smoke up your rear. The Cardinals lost again. They're 3-8. I'm going to do a quick live read here, or 2 quick live reads. I'll come back, and I'm going to put some things into perspective here on this instant reaction show that may make you feel a little bit better than you do right now. And I'll do that next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Prize Picks. The holiday season is one of the best times for sports, man. Bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And when we're making choices every day, one of the most fun places to make them is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easiest way to get in on daily fantasy sports. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, lock in your lineup, and you're in the game. It's simple, fast, and available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Deposits and withdrawals are super quick and easy. So 15 minutes, bing, bang, boom. You cash out, you cash out. Download the Prize Pick app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Today's episode is also brought to you by Game Time. The NFL season, we're in full swing, obviously. We're in week 12. Honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium. But buying tickets is a pain sometimes. There's long queues. There's random charges at the end of right before the checkout. It's super frustrating, and that's why I use the Game Time app. The app that gives the advantages back to the fans. And even, it's not just football. I went with my mom to Austin to see Jim Gaffigan. She's like, well, where do I go to ticket? Do I go to these other places? Like, use the Game Time app. It's 100% Game Time guaranteed. The tickets are 100% real always. So have no fear. And she did. And we went. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. So, gross. This is just gross. I'll be doing something that won't be gross is I'll be doing the Cardinal Squad show. Jameel and I will be doing it immediately following this. There'll be a new link, but it'll be on the same page. So some positive takeaways. Positive takeaways. There's going to be plenty of negative throughout the week. I'll pepper in some positive. Positive takeaways. Michael Wilson is a bona fide wide receiver 2 in this league. Like, this is unequivocally indisputable at this point. 10 for 118 after 15 for 185. This was in a contested game, okay, throughout. So you can't say garbage time. He had the huge catch and run that ended that set up the game-tying field goal. Jacoby Brissett, when he has time, is a very, very effective quarterback. Okay? You can't ask a dude to throw the ball 49 times and be efficient at the same time. You can't do it. He played fine. He's not the reason why they lost. The Cardinals did not turn the ball over once. They turned the Jacksonville Jaguars over 4 times, including one that was a pick 6 by Walter Nolan, his first career touchdown. So the positives were, Jalen Thompson and Budda Baker had their best game of the year. Both had a sack. Budda had a ridiculous interception. You want to say Budda Baker's washed? I say I beg to differ. Thank you, please. Trey McBride. 9 for 79. It wasn't this gaudy thing, but, they obviously schemed, and he still had 9 for 79. Positive. Jacoby Brissett, if Jacoby Brissett continues to play like this, I'm 100% good running back with him next year. Truly. They need to bolster the offensive line. They need to add 2 pieces, right guard or right tackle, left guard at least. Whether through free agency or the draft, they got to do it. This is obvious, but Jacoby Brissett looked fine. I don't understand what more people want him to do. Trey McBride looked good. Michael Wilson looked great. Greg Dortch looked good. You get Marv back, and you actually get some sort of semblance of a run game if Trey Benson comes back next week. Then this offense is going to look a lot better. But you can't do anything if you can't protect Jacoby Brissett. And again, also, it's unfair of the offensive line to be asked, it's unfair for the offensive line to be asked to pass protect 49 more times. No, it's not even 49, plus the sacks, 55 more times. Like they did last week, like they did the week before, and on and on and on. So the positives remain positive. They've got their wide receivers. You don't need to draft one in the first 2 or 3 rounds. You don't have to. They've got their guys. You just got to get Michael Wilson the ball with Marv and Trey, and they're set. They're good. With Greg Dortch as the backup dancer as the 3rd option or the 4th option. That's good. Okay? Cody Simon played well today. You're starting to see why people saw that as a steal in the 4th round. Defensive MVP of the national championship game last year at Ohio State. You saw it. He doesn't look lost out there. They missed Will Johnson. They missed Adrian Taylor-Demerson. It's like there's only so many things that we can discuss about this team without making injuries an excuse. But kinda. So, I don't know. They lose. They fall to 3-8. They're going to have a top 10 pick this year. It'll be interesting to see if Kyler Murray comes back when he's eligible to in Week 14. If they throw him back on the field, we'll talk about that a lot more as that ramps up. Just because it's fun. So who cares? It's fun. Okay, and this one thing, I'm not going to jump. I will talk about this. Treyway says, we need Kyler back. Some of those sacks would have been at least first down, I'm assuming is what you're saying. The amount of times that Jacoby Brissett gets hit and delivers a strike for a first down far outweighs Kyler Murray's ability to get out of the pocket and evade sacks. Far outweighs. I am in Jacoby Brissett, I trust, moving forward into 2026 if this is what we're going to see for the rest of the year. He's already under contract. You want to draft a rookie? Fine. You want to draft a quarterback? That's fine. This is one of the historically bad quarterback drafts. I think you bring in another vet, you have them duel it out. This offense, if you have an offense that can hum like this, and you need an offensive line that can protect, you need a running back, and you need an offensive line, and everything else is great. Great. Everything else works. So listen, thanks for watching. I'm going to jump on with Jamil Douglas right now. Wait less than 5 minutes, and there'll be a new link up. We're going to go live on the channel, Jamil and myself. And we'll commiserate and talk a little bit more long-winded with it. Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals. Remember, without you, there is no me. I will talk to you in 5 minutes.